think what the answer to that is that, and I've contended this for some time, that when we get to the point where, let's say the USDX is 40, it's 80 right now, the dollar will have fallen by 50% from this level against 6 other major currencies. Now, they could go to another dollar as described by Chris, and I agree with that whole synopsis. And that would be the way to go, and the blue dollar would be the way to go as well. The problem is not with the U.S. version of devaluation, it goes with all the others, because during that period of time, gold is going to be going up against the dollar, but it's also, as it has been for almost 4 years, be going up versus all the other currencies. So that has to be taken into consideration. So what I think would happen is you would not have a unilateral dollar devaluation and default. You would have a simultaneous devaluation, adjustment if you want to call it that, of all currencies to one another. Gold would have already corrected against them, and I would think that there would be a mechanism where they would all default against one another. Now, we had something like that during the Smithsonian talks in the early 70s, and in the Plaza Accord, which is really only dollar-oriented during 1985. But you might call this Bretton Woods 2. And all the currencies would devalue against one another, not just the dollar. And I think because of the state of the economy at that time, and I'm looking ahead not a few months, I'm looking ahead 2 or 3 years, and they all would have been affected by hyperinflation during this period of time. So they would all default together, they would all adjust together, and I would think a new international trading unit, not a currency as such, but a trading unit would be born, and if it's going to be used, it's got to be backed by gold. So the participants must use one of the elemental currencies within the group of 10, and that currency must be in part backed by gold. Now, if they do that, then they have their international trading unit. They won't do away with Forex, because there'll still be pounds and rands and pesos and reals and on and on. And so there still would be adjustments between currencies, but there would be a new international unit. It would not be the U.S. dollar. It would be 10 currencies, which would include the dollar and the Canadian dollar and the British pound and the euro, if it still exists, the Swiss franc and the Swedish krona. That's 6. Who am I missing? Oh, the yen. That's 7. The yuan is 8. The Russian ruble is 9. And I give up. Who's number 10? Maybe the state of California after they come out of bankruptcy. But I think that's the best approach for them if that's what they want to do. Now, they might go to an international currency, but I don't think anybody's going to accept it. It's not going to work. SDRs will not work. I mean, look at the period between 61 and 69. It was a disaster. I mean, I was there. I saw it all. And the SDRs were laughed almost out of existence. And so it's just another fiat paper currency that's not worth the paper it's written on. And people are not going to take it. The Chinese, the Russians, the Swedes, others, they have gold backing if they want to. I don't think the U.S. has any gold left.
We'll be right back after this short break. And thank you for joining us this afternoon. You're listening to Financial Survival, sponsored by Discount Gold and Silver Trading. 800-375-4188 if you'd like a complimentary issue to the International Forecaster. And Bob, would you like to tell us about the International Forecaster, please?
Forecast is about business, finance, economics, social and political issues all over the world. We publish by email on Wednesdays and Saturdays, runs around 35 or 40 pages each time, and we have a hard copy that goes out twice a month for those who are not on the Internet. If you'd like a free introductory copy, you can go to the site, or you can email us, or you can go to Melody. And our email address is theinternationalforecaster.com. theinternationalforecaster.com. And the email is Bob, B-O-B, at INTFORECASTER.com. That's Bob at intforecaster.com.
800-375-4188. Give us a call if you'd like a complimentary issue to the International Forecaster. 800-375-4188. And, of course, your gold and silver coins also at that telephone number, 800-375-4188. There's some good bargains out there with the pullback in the prices. Actually, the coins didn't come down too much, but I expect if gold continues to stay at this level, if we have a little bit more of a pullback, you might see a little bit more pressure on the coins. But actually, they're not doing too bad considering what spot's done the past 2 days. Give us a call at 800-375-4188. And I
want to remind you once again that we have the second largest short position, I think, in gold history. The last one was about a year and a half ago. And we had a correction back to, I think it was 765, 760. And because of the short position, the shorts were commercials, as they're qualified. I won't get into that because they're not really, but anyway. They turned around and started covering, and gold ended up at 1,035. And I think we're going to see the same thing again, only we're not going to go as deep this time. There's been a tremendous amount of bullion buying, and as well as in the ETFs. So somewhere in here, we're going to have a reasonably short downside. It may be here, it may be at 880, but I get a feeling it's here in this 920-25 area. And if it is, when it moves back up again, it'll take a shot at the former highs and go through them. I would use this just as another opportunity to buy gold and silver. And these are not normal markets. These markets are being aided one way or the other by the government. And it's something we just have to live with because we don't have any place else to go. The only place we can go for any kind of safety is the gold and silver related assets. And, you know, the stock market should have been down 350 to 400 points today. And it was only down 187. Although I will say that on equivalency basis, S&P was up 202 points and NASDAQ was up 254. So you're going to see more pressure tomorrow. And gold closed up near its lows of the day. And so gold might early be under pressure. But I don't think you're going to get too much more downside because the stocks are telling us that they really don't want to go down. And so I think we could very well be coming into more support and at least consolidation in this general area.
The gold ETFs, what, in May rose almost, 9-10%?
Well, you're right. The question is, do they have the gold?
Well, yeah. Well, that's always the
and
question.
nobody knows because you can't audit them.
But the interest is there.